What's wrong?
I'm less a quarter of a tank of gas. I won't get very far, so I need gas.
Okay, so that's a lot easier. I didn't understand your sign language, and I was like, uh-oh.
I had to stop because I had no gas.
That's an easy...
The tractor needs a drink.
Okay.
But I didn't think that would work.
All right, that's an easy fix.
Not a big deal. I just can't get very far with no gas.
Good morning. Part-time weekend rancher out here again. Jen and I are going to be out here with Rucker for a couple of days. Behind us are the lovely ladies, the 21 ladies. First thing we're going to do today is move them over from Corral 2 over to Corral 4. Going to move over the troughs. We're not going to put any sweet feed. It's a little early for that, but we'll probably give them some later on tonight. And I think they're in for a treat, or they think they're in for a treat. We'll walk them over, see if they just follow us. But we got a lot of work to do today. This is the first thing we're going to get done. We're going to try to mow both sides, RR1 and RR2. And then also finally build fence in the back 40 where we punched those posts almost a year ago.
All right, so we're all loaded up. Two drops. And here come the cows. You want to move the mineral feeder too? Okay. Hello, girls. Hi, girls. They still have flies on them. It's mid-October, and they still have flies on them. Their face.
Hook up the diamond cutter to the skid steer, go work on the back 40 where we punched all those posts to go clean it up because I'm sure it's overgrown. Jen's gonna go over there with the 15-foot cutter in the tractor and clean up the majority of it, but you can't get that close to the fence line, so this is where this comes in handy. And then also this is 7 feet wide, and in between the posts is 8, so I can actually get in between the two posts, or between all the posts, and clean it up as well, especially when we're going to start building fence, because you got to get in there. Going to connect the hydraulic lines. There's 3 of them on here. You have a outflow and inflow. I don't know which one this one is, but it goes on top. You have a middle one where when it spins and if it hits something, it causes back pressure or backflow. So you have a third line that actually reduces that pressure so it doesn't screw up the head on the diamond cutter and doesn't cause a leak as well with the primary or the main hydraulic pump in the skid steer. So it's pretty important when they say high flow to have also a trickle or a third line. There you go. This is the back 40. These are all the posts that we punched. It's like 400 feet, I think, maybe 200 feet, 300 feet, somewhere around there, from the corner where the gate is right here all the way down to the end of our property right before it starts going up the hill. And this side isn't too bad, the right side isn't too bad. This is our property. We've mowed it a couple of times, it hasn't grown up, but the other side is pretty thick as well. So I'll do probably a pass a couple of passes on my side and a couple of passes on that side, and then try to go in between all the posts to cut it down, so that way we can start building board fence from there all the way to the corn crib, or at least where we punched the last post. So this is one of the other things we got to do today. See if we can start building fence, because it's been a year and posts have just sort of been sitting here lonely. Couldn't get the diamond cutter in between the 8-foot post, or the gap in between the posts. It's a little less than 8 feet, and I didn't want to risk it, because then you start creating more work than what it's worth, having to redo the post and or put in concrete. So what I'm going to do is I put the barrier mower on the skid steer. I've talked about this probably for the last year, maybe 2 years, but I haven't actually used it since. And it's a cool little implement. It's got a skid steer attachment, and then basically it just has a huge lawnmower head with the blade or blades on either side and a skid plate on the bottom. So the front part, or the outer part of the circle, is just some really hard rubber, and what happens is when you hit something, it pushes it back. There's a spring right there that allows the head to basically pivot back and give way, and when there's no longer anything in front of it or tension pushing it back, it swings back to place and just keeps cutting. And then the blades will come out to just about there and not actually to the very edge, so you don't damage the post or anything else that you're trying to cut. These are pretty common. I guess they're mostly used in like apple orchards or vineyards, and they're trying to go down the row without actually hitting the trees and clean everything up. So I'm gonna try to do the same thing here with the back 40 where all those posts are, and see how it looks, and I'll film it so that way you can see. I don't know the best place for you to see this, but this is on the inside looking out. Sorry about the safety stuff there, but I'll get it started, and then you'll see as it goes, it should be hitting the posts, push back, and then go ahead and keep on mowing just like a big weed whacker, I guess is the best way to describe it. But it's a hydraulic weed whacker. Because it's so thick, it may take a couple of passes to clean it up and make it look good, but you'll see, or hopefully see, how good it performs. Got done using the barrier mower. So you can see it's cleaned it up pretty well. Way better than what it was. The only issue with it is it doesn't get close enough to the post, because you have like an inch or two off of the outer diameter of the circle that won't let it hit, which is, I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. But that's the result, is it gets really good in between where there's nothing in there, but as soon as it hits the post and pushes back, you still have all that stuff that grows right next to the post that doesn't really get cut up by the barrier mower. Hence why I still have to weed whack and why we have to spray herbicide or weed kill on the fence line, is because even with the barrier mower, in my mind, it still isn't as clean and as nice as I'd like it to be. But it's a good start. It's nice, good clean path now, so I can lay down some board, and then we'll start punching the bottom board, and once that's done I can just go ahead and put up the other 3 in the fascia. It's a good start to the day.